Wet dog meets semi-wet dog. I'm you, but with legs. All right, well, where's a straight dry dog? I don't like what I just said. Well, where's a straight dry dog? Don't feel bad if you're sensitive to negative feedback, because apparently after one particular bad review, Hans Christian Andersen was found just sobbing while lying face down in the dirt. That's kind of what I do when people in the comments say they don't like me.
Leave a nice comment for Robin right now.
I think crying emoji are stupid. I don't feel this or this, I feel this. Yeah, these ones are significantly better. That last one's hilarious. He looks like a little bug. I'd say top right is probably the most accurate, just across the board. Oh boy, what's this? Here we can see that Florida is actually a poorly written artificial data matrix, as evidenced by this poorly rendered police vehicle clipping through the environment due to simulation processor loads being too high during the rainy season. Bethesda programmed Florida. Is it a bug or a feature? It's a yes. Weird. Strange collision tampering, I'd say. Link. Zorlda. The game is so pretty, I'm crying. Then why did you make Link Shooter? Why did you do that? Concept. Reverse vampires. They survive by eating garlic and drinking holy water. The sun is healing to them. If you stake them through the heart, they become immortal. But most importantly, every single human on Earth is trying to hunt them down and drink their blood. Italians. What timeline are you from? No, not timeline. What segment of our multiverse are you from? Semi-annual skull check. Do you still have yours? Yeah, man, I got it right here. No, where is it? I can't wait to get a live-action movie where Disney delves into the backstory of Gaston and they reveal that his mom got crushed by a bookshelf to explain why he hates educated women that read. They really had Cruella's mom get pushed off a cliff by Dalmatians. Wow. Damn. You know, I remembered not disliking that movie all that much. I thought, this is fun. This doesn't make any goddamn sense, and I will absolutely not consider this a true canon story whatsoever, because it's not. But yeah, never really thought about it that. It's so goddamn funny. I can draw anything, and so can you. By golly, you're right! Pirates of the Cambrian! Now this needs to be the reboot for Pirates. We've been waiting on that reboot for a while, cause lordy doesn't need it. I think we have it, right here. The tasseled wobgong is a species of carpet shark in the family, yes, and the only member of its genus. I'm pretty sure that you kill one of these bastards in Okami at some point. Oh no, this is terrible! Who's gonna sign my paycheck? Squidward kept this real. I mean, yeah, the dude was paying them enough to have homes. You think SpongeBob and Squidward actually had those things owned outright? No. Totally mortgaged those suckers. The only reason Patrick was able to afford his was because, well, it's a studio under a rock. So he didn't have to pay very much, if anything. Extremely hot soup, daring you to eat it. Generated by OpenAI's DALL-E 2. Sharing is caring. The heading of this post was used to generate the image. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh my god. Oh, but we would absolutely need, like, a name for the soup. Because the extremely hot soup daring you to eat it is that little card descriptor, right? What's the name of the evil soup? I play pot of soup. Giraffe. Hey, that's not a giraffe. Lionesses are known for their cunning hunting tactics. She blends right in. I frickin' love Irish slang. Like it's the most creative craft ever. Today, I heard a coffin being referred to as wooden onesie. In the sentence, "Ay, Jesus, me nanny looks better than ye and she's in a bleeding wooden onesie." And it was honestly life-changing. Also, I genuinely did not try that hard on that Irish accent, okay? Been playing a lot of Red Dead 2. Sean's accent is very particular, almost impossible to mimic. I didn't want to try too hard.
You better sleep with your eyes open.
Chugs the bean juice. Hot wakey water. Thanks for giving me a stroke first thing opening Tumblr. Me too. Oh wait, I think the bean water's melting me. No, it's just hurting your poopy, dirty hose tube in your body. My hotel has a sitting area with no possible way to access it. Use whirlwind sprint. Climb on the desk and double jump from there. Frickin' triangle jump, dude. You're just not thinking with portals. Just go outside and punch the ground a couple of times. Go back inside and build a noob tower up to the sitting area. It can't be higher than 3 to 4 blocks. Unlock the sitting area with the special $15 sitting area DLC. I really enjoy this. I enjoy this. The gamers rose up and gave you so many solutions to get over to that seating area. And if you make it over there, I believe you'll own the hotel from there on out. Hey, is the K word allowed on this website? I forget. I will kill Gotcha Gaming? Is that how you say that? I've seen it a couple of times. I just don't know. Divorce court. You are no longer married to each other. You are still married to each other. Owned. Lifeguard Jesus disagrees with the law. Lifeguard Jesus is found in contempt of court and sentenced to jail. Look, we've seen what happens when Jesus is locked away somewhere, okay? It doesn't work. How many times are we gonna go through this? There was a really big cowboy-looking dude in the coffee shop, and after a while I realized he seemed to be staring at me. And I was getting uncomfortable until he suddenly startled and came over to say, "I'm so sorry, ma'am, I wasn't trying to stare at you. There is a huge bird behind you." And lo and behold, right outside the window, there was an absolute unit of a crow. You cannot post a story like this, true or not, I don't give a crap, and not give us an image of this absolute unit of a crow. This should be a crime. Everyone shut up and look at this carving of a whale from 1200 to 600 Chumash culture. I love him. I would die for him, honestly, if I'm being real with you. This is the lucky clover cat. Reblog this in 30 seconds, and he'll bring you good luck and fortune. This one! This is the one that works! I reblogged him on the day I started treatment, and 1, got to my appointment on time, 2, found a free parking ticket someone left in the meter for me, and 3, got free Starbucks after my appointment. I'm convinced because I reblogged this on Friday, got hired at a job I had a million interviews for, went on a first date that went well, and got kissed a billion times, so like, hell yeah to the lucky cat. I can't repost him. What am I supposed to do? I could fix him. I could make him worse. Well, I could make him. Hi, Victor Frankenstein here. Sorry, Frankenstein, I apologize. Since everyone's reposting it, might as well just post it here myself. This was a commission, believe it or not. Someone paid me to draw this. OP, I'd have paid for this. Sabrina blowing the mind of her Alakazam while carrying pepperoni pizza with her mind is dope. I'm not 100% in the know for this image, but it's quite entertaining to look at, I will admit. Putting candy cane pieces in cookies is a bad idea. Did you see them going off to fight children of the barricade who didn't last the night? What? Yeah, I wouldn't cook the peppermint candies with them, or bake them rather. I'd put them in afterwards as best I could while they're still warm and squishy. If cats aren't meant to be kissed on their heads, then what's that little space between their ears for? Certainly not their brain. Ain't that the truth? My cat Munchkin definitely does not have a working brain in there. I think he has a smaller cat chasing a laser pointer inside of a metal enclosure. That's if I had to guess. The neurodivergent urge to do this. I wanna go, I wanna go, I wanna go, I wanna go! I'm fucking nuts. I'm insane, I'm crazy. I'm an animal trapped in a cage, I'm shaking the bars. Oh my god, I need to sleep. Yeah? The Necrons are objectively the funniest faction. They really want people to get off their lawn, and if everyone just agreed, they could probably kill everyone in the galaxy. But instead, they just fight on their own because everyone in charge is freaking insane, and everyone's either worse or can't do shit about it. Also, there's a dude who doesn't care about any of this and just wants to collect things as a hobby. Oh, it's Warhammer. Honestly, if I had to guess, because I'm not in the know with this, Warhammer would have been at the very top of my guest list. Birthday cards for adult men are just, you are old and it's funny. Drink alcohol. Blatant sexism. Boomer comic. I'm the better sibling. Watch the sports. Sex. You're old and therefore bad at sex and it's funny. Blatant sexism related to sex. Blue-tinted illustrations of vaguely male pastimes. Look, man, it pays the bills, okay? In The Departed, 2006, Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg play two different characters. A subtle nod to them being two different actors, despite my wife being unable to tell them apart on the first viewing of the movie. OP, this is the funniest post you've made yet. It's the funniest because Mark Wahlberg isn't in that photo. Is he not? What I wouldn't give to have the gastric constitution of a 9-year-old again. Like, you know when you're in grade school and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have some Gushers and pizza and one of those dubious chalky grocery store cookies and then go run around with my friends. And now, as an adult, if I eat the wrong brand of peanut butter, I have to lie down for an hour. Seeing people in the notes who are like, It's a good thing I can still eat whatever I want. And they're like, 19. I was you once, and in a couple of years, you might start to suspect that your favorite fast food joint is giving you mild food poisoning every time you eat there. They're not. It's the milkshakes. Go buy some lactase pills. Oh, dude, that's what those are called. I need those so bad. Look, I'm only 26. I know, I'm basically over the hill and dead already. But I'm heartbroken that the lactose intolerance finally caught up with me, okay? I need to get me some old people lactase pills. Looks like the Wiggles' original lineup is planning an 18-plus pub tour. Can't wait to get fucking smashed while Hot Potato plays in the background. Catch me in the pit during fruit salad. No joke though, I really wish that this wasn't just an Australian tour. They only do this in Australia as far as I've ever been told. Sorry, I'm saying Australia, it's Australia. Apologies, I got yelled at for that. Look, can we convince the Wiggles to come do that in the Denver metro area, please? Ever see a post on social media and think, about to have an anxiety attack? Yeah, like 18 times a day, actually. I said to my little sister, gods don't die. And my brother ran up to me and whispered in my ear, some do. Like he knew for sure. He's 6. I'm so freaking frightened for my life. Update. I put him to bed and said goodnight, and he replied, it won't last. And I'm fully convinced he holds far more power than any other human being. That little dude knows something that the rest of us are not allowed to know. I can feel it. Oh no! My ribcage split open, revealing a grotesque vertical maw, slavering and bleeding with uneven rows of jagged and splintered ribs for teeth. And prom is tomorrow! Wow! That prose was deeply purple, and I loved every second of it. Do you think if skeletons were real, boner would be a slur for them? Anon, I have wonderful news for you regarding the realness of skeletons. They are indeed real. They do exist for pretty much all creatures in the world. I say pretty much because there are quite a few that don't have them, or have them on the outside, so to speak. Well, Anon, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you're scared, because they're out there, and there's one inside of you too. In 2020, it's gonna be 420 for a whole month. Hell yeah, mother f***er, touches the ground. This, a relic of a more hopeful time. I feel so bad about 2020. That was like most people's worst year ever. Common misconceptions surrounding the care of monsters. Contrary to popular belief, it is not normal for a Cerberus's heads to fight with one another. This indicates anxiety or lack of proper enrichment. Giant spiders are actually very social creatures and should not be housed alone. Provide your Sphinx with enrichment by answering its riddles. Though Sphinxes can be trained to attack those who answer incorrectly, they actually normally speak in riddles as a form of social play that is essential to their development and well-being. I don't want a Sphinx. They sound exhausting. I love how people have been dying for a new Lord of the Rings game. One where you can explore the vast beauty of Middle-earth and become a powerful warrior or wizard or whatever. Then, we finally get a new game, and you're forced to be the little cave freak that lives inside damp, dark tunnels all day, idiot. Pukicho just posted, I love how people have been dying. That's no good. No, that is no good. Crystals for banishing someone. Any of them, if you throw them hard enough. This here's my banishing rock. I follow the leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photos rule of state or national parks. Yeah, because conservation. But also because when I was 11, I read a short story about a girl who went to a museum and stole a bandage flake off a mummy on display with the mentality of, I'm just one person, one piece won't be missed. Then, at night, she was visited by the mummy and it plucked a single hair from her head, and then the next night, a different mummy took another hair and she realized that there were only so many pieces to her. Before, there would be nothing left, and that story has forever wedged in my brain. Anyways, leave cool rocks where you find them or the mummies will get you. A good romance starts with a good friendship. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading all of that. That's a lot of repetition. Well, a bad romance starts with, no, I'm not singing it. You can't get, no, you almost got me. You can't get me. You're next! Run. Oh no, Disney's gonna buy you, friend. 18 pathetic men in your area with the wettest, saddest eyes you've ever seen want to talk to you about the worst music you've ever heard with you. Ads I would literally click on. I wouldn't. Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. was great because Velma was a lesbian, Fred was a himbo, and there was an evil David Bowie D&D villain. Scooby was an alien. Shaggy dodged the draft with help from his dog. Fred and Daphne got engaged in high school. Velma's girlfriend got shot by Nazi robots. Don't worry, she got better. There was a Terminator dominatrix, and there was an actual literal Lovecraftian old god alien entity trying to destroy the world. And said old god looked like squid ink spaghetti. What? How to get Fahrenheit temps. Think of it as a percentage of heat. 40% hot? Kinda on the chilly side. 75% hot? That's pretty warm now. 20% hot? Oh, that's actually not warm at all. 110% hot? We're dying. It all makes sense now. Fun fact, the Fahrenheit scale is used in temperature according to how it feels to a human. So looking at in percentages is actually what you should do. Now, can I get a cheat sheet for Celsius? Ask water how hot it feels. You know, I never looked at Fahrenheit that way, but now I don't hate it quite as much. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Look, Celsius makes more sense across the board, it works with everything better, but now Fahrenheit is at least 2% better than it was before in my eyes. Saw a black and white horse on my way to school today, forgot the word cow, and instead shouted, "Moo breed!" I have an exam in a few minutes. I'm about to cry. I hate physics. Semi-annual skull check. Do you still have yours? Yeah, man, I got it right here. No, where is it? Puts my cigarette out on you. Quickly smokes it all before it can reach me. Oh, a wise guy, huh? Rolls up my sleeves. Why, I oughta. Quickly rolls your sleeves back down before you can hit me. Hey, whoa, don't roleplay like that. Don't be that guy in the roleplay scenario. Bro, I am on my way. Sorry for calling you bro. You're my girlfriend and I love you. I love you too, brah. I went ages ago, dude, so it was more than an hour ago. Sorry for calling you dude. I meant to say my love or something. Make a little birdhouse in your soul, bitch. Okay, you really didn't have to call me names though. Casting a spell. What kind of spell? Whatever you want. Wow, so much potential. I think I'll cast a spell of having a nice time. Haha, nice spell you two have got going on there. Mind if I add a little something? Dear God, what are you going to do? No, it's the evil wizard, run! Chock full of nuts. To assure those with allergies to nuts, the company began adding the slogan, "No nuts, 100% coffee" to its packaging in the 2000s. Chock full of nuts has the worst branding, I swear to God. I can't figure out why no one will buy from my pillow company. These are absolutely brimming with spider eggs. Genius. I haven't been able to get the full video, but we just celebrated one of our steam locomotives turning 145 by chucking a chocolate cake into her firebox. I bet she appreciated that. Still can't get over that person on TikTok saying that Stardew Valley was not a good game because you need to use the wiki, and then said her reasoning was that she didn't know the axe was used for chopping trees for 10 hours. I want to see this person play Dwarf Fortress. Japan's Killing Stone said to contain a chaotic demon for 1,000 years. Splits in half. Bye, y'all. I'm off to my wedding. PSA. If an English person says anything about tea or having someone around for tea, it does not mean they will literally be drinking tea. Tea means dinner. We're having dinner. Are you serious? Yes. So then how do you invite someone over for tea? With tea and scones and jam and stuff. That kind of tea. How are you supposed to phrase that? Do you want to come over for a cuppa? Someone finally did it! Why don't you call things the way that they are? British slang honestly just cracks me up. It's so fucking cute.
You want to come over and have a bubbling squeak in it?
People are always like, I have face blindness, but I'm good with names. Or, I'm terrible with names, but I never forget a face. Well, baby, I don't know how to tell you this, but I am bad at both. Yesterday, I did not recognize my coworker because he was wearing a purple shirt, and I'm used to him wearing all black. OP is a horse. You know, back in my day, if a pestilence swept through the land during a time of famine and flood, it meant that the reigning kings had displeased the gods, and that we risked the gods' further ire by obeying them. Then you took the king out, chopped his head off, and threw him into a bog to appease the angry gods. Huh. Windmills and lighthouses are cousins. Towers with jobs. Me entering any museum. Ma'am, I'm so excited to learn all the things. Also me, gift chop, gift chop, gift chop, gift chop. There are two dragons inside of you. One hoards knowledge and the other hoards trinkets. They're both very excited when you bring them to a museum. We have 3 dragons inside of us. The third one is gay. You are gay. There are 2 types of uncle. Kinda goofy, literally the worst human being you've ever had the displeasure of meeting. Yeah, sometimes people get stuck with just one type, and you got like 30 of them. I want to and die. Bzzt. What is a salmon? I know there's a joke here somewhere, but I don't understand it. So I'm choosing to interpret this as the person saying that and then getting electrocuted and forgetting what a salmon is. Oh, it's a Jeopardy question and answer. Oh no! What does this even... Oh, fuck you. It's a warehouse. If you find bones in the forest, sit a bit and listen. They're old and have some good stories to tell. Maybe they'll teach you a spell or two or explain where the water on our planet came from. If you find bones by the ocean, run. Don't look back. Run. Faster. Faster. The sea may love you, but there are nights where she knows neither mercy nor science, and the bones warn you only once. Boy, if you find bones, call the police. I hate this website so much. This is a piece of creative writing, in case you couldn't tell from the fact that real bones don't usually go, "Hey little mama, let me whisper bony secrets in your ear or warn you of the incoming tides like a calcified weather frog." Today I learned the wiki disambiguation page for William Smith doesn't have a link for the Will Smith you're thinking of, but it does have a link for Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, named after and portrayed by Will Smith, and it turns out this is because Will Smith, the Fresh Prince's full name, is William Smith, but Will Smith's full name is in fact Willard Smith. Dead men tell no tales? Wrong, Your Honor. As a necromancer, I literally summon my first witness, the victim. My cats have very different communication styles when they urgently want something. One of them stares, the other one yells, and if staring isn't having the desired results, the staring cat will go and fetch the yelling cat to yell on her behalf. They know how to play you, dude. It's sick as hell. Dishwashing affirmations. The dishes are more scared of you than you're scared of them. If you put on a little song, you can have a dishwashing party. Washing dishes is a great way to make new friends, like frying pans, cups, etc. Despite any misinformation you may see online, a fork has never bitten anyone. They're gentle, even-tempered creatures that often just want to nap. Hey, that's kind of like me, man. That's sick. But who's the most sexual motherfucker on land? Me. Prove it. My wife said so, and that's enough proof. Do you have kids? Serious question, come on, be honest now. One of my favorite visual gags is drawing a passive bubbly character with cartoony eyes, but changing their eyes to be realistic whenever something annoys them. My favorite example. This is the handbook each actor who plays Aladdin at Disney World is given. Park safety. Although we want every Disney guest to have fun, our #1 priority is safety. Because of this, Aladdin will never under any circumstances kill a park guest unless it's absolutely necessary to save the lives of a greater number of park guests. This is referred to as Aladdin's exception. Sir, we have a person taken hostage in Frontierland. Send in the street rat. Why do I think that's not at all in the Disney World handbook? Hello, male writer. Before you is a typewriter. You have 1 day to write a novella with a woman as the protagonist without describing her breasts. The timer begins now. Her ass was like a peach. And brother, I'm in her pit. Well, that one's on me. Yeah, you really need to create a lot more rules. Radiation is insane. There are rocks out there that will pull the seams of your organs apart if you stand too close to them. Some rocks really do have auras. Unfortunately, that aura is eat shit and die energy. Radiation is very freaky. Manga lied to me. I never see bad boy types protecting stray kittens, therefore revealing to me their soft side. It's always me picking up the cats. Maybe I'm the bad boy? Maybe. Barbie in the newest movie looks like if Elsa from Frozen was in Mass Effect. Don't ask me why I know this. I thought this was a Constable Frozen edit. What? Apparently the plot for this movie is that all the stars are dying and Barbie needs to find a way to stop the universe from succumbing to a cold, dark end, which is honestly more terrifying than a lot of actual sci-fi. Barbie and the heat death of the universe. Man, the Barbie movies do be kind of fun. I'm really glad we don't actually live in an RPG world. We really take for granted being able to coexist with most animals. I don't want to have to pull out a longsword and beat the shit out of 6 crabs and 2 snails while a starfish snipes me with magic bullets every time I go to the beach. I don't know. I can understand how that would get old really fast, but still sounds kind of fun. Why are these scientists talking about Pluto when they should be curing Ebola? That's because they're astrophysicists, not molecular engineers or infectious disease specialists. You're getting mad at the wrong people. Walks into Starbucks and violently shakes the barista. Look, where the f*** am I supposed to get a new bed frame then? The only acceptable birthday cake. Oh, so when you blow out that candle, you'll be killing that Charmander. Happy birthday, you sick f***. That is a valid point. Just tried to draw Among Us crucifixion, but I realized halfway through that the crewmate doesn't have arms and thus can't be nailed to a cross. So my solution to this was to draw the thing duct taped onto there like a cheapskate's broken car part. I feel like my first question needs to be, why were you drawing this in the first place? My girlfriend's work told her she can't draw cats on people's to-go boxes anymore, and I think I'm more pissed about it than her. Like, let her have fun. I'll kill you. Meow meow. Enjoy your lunch. Thank you everyone for supporting my cat drawing. They look like this, by the way. Look how fucking delightful this is. How fucking dare they make her stop? Unbelievable. Skin is just people crust. The outside of that crust is called the horny layer. You are on drugs. Nope, not at all. Oh dear, European comics. Well, there's these two guys who've been friends for 20 years. One of them writes the scripts and the other one makes the art. American comics. The publisher wants us to crank out a new chapter every month, so we have one dude who writes, another one who plans the page layout and sketches, a third person who inks the page, and a fourth who colors it, and a fifth one who's on the payroll just to fight the publisher about the requested edits and corrections. Japanese comics. The publisher wants us to crank out a new chapter every month, so we have this one dude doing the entire damn thing on his own in a tiny apartment while slowly going insane. I've seen that anime before, yeah. What language do they speak at the center of the Earth? Korean. The center of the Earth is around 5,400 degrees Celsius. No one's gonna live there, so they don't need a language. Korean. Get it, dumbass? I'm going to start false crime podcasts where I explain crimes that never actually happened. I'm going to do the crimes you explain, forcing you into having a true crime podcast. Deploy the boy. Boy, deployed. Well, there he goes. I just saw a picture saying do or die, and it literally translates to die or die. Do you want to die in Danish or English? Hamlet sweats nervously. I know that's probably not pronounced do, is it? Dude, I don't know, I don't speak Danish. Hands down, the funniest thing I have ever heard at college was overhearing the following sentence at a conference. I asked him what his pronouns were, and he said, PhD. You will refer to me as doctor, and as doctor alone. I didn't go to school for 10 years so that you could call me he. My cat just squashed himself into the funniest position I think I've ever seen, but I couldn't get my phone to take a pic without him moving, so I drew it. You know what? That was the way to go anyway. Fantasy video game locations include the ocean, the mushroom forest, the misty moors, the mystical machine land, and ancient Egypt. Sci-fi video game locations include dilapidated city overrun with alien fungi, tentacle forest, OSHA violation building, spaceship corridor labyrinth, giant nest of alien eggs, desert planet with worms, and ancient Egypt. In general, I think New York is very good for my social anxiety because no matter how much of a freak I'm being, I know it's probably not the weirdest thing these people have seen today. Case in point, I felt bad about bringing my unwieldy luggage onto a crowded train until the man sitting next to me pulled a live fish out of his backpack. Yeah, it's all subjective in New York, man. They see it all. First publication. How to be polite and show respect. In the old days of feudal Japan, a samurai warrior would shout, "You are trying to view Flash content, but you have no Flash plugin installed." Truly ahead of their time. Childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize the Joker makes more sense. This is the most Reddit thing I've read all day. I thought adulthood was feeling bad for all the stupid bullshit Commissioner Gordon had to put up with. Childhood is idolizing Batman. Adolescence is thinking the Joker is right, and adulthood is realizing that Gordon absolutely doesn't get paid enough for this shit. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that Chicago was the basis for Gotham City, and the average police commissioner in Chicago makes like $176,000 a year. I'd say he gets paid more than enough for this shit. Goth. Out of every pun and play on words I've seen on this site, this is the one that makes me so yeah, sure, that's the one. Right, that's the one, sure. Yeah, low tier, low tier. If Batman and Spider-Man switched rogues galleries, none of their villains would last more than 10 minutes against the new enemy. Batman takes down all of Spider-Man's villains with ruthless efficiency and preparation. Batman's villains are all like, "Take me seriously, damn it," and Spider-Man's just like, "No." The Joker would have an intense hatred for Spider-Man because Spider-Man's actually funny. That was the exact thought process behind this post. In Gotham, riddle me this. I like knock-knock jokes better. In New York, Green Goblin's getting his ass beat by 12 orphans in spandex. Hey yo, post this hamster. Oh, where to, boss? Hamsterdam. Alright, I'll give you that one. TikTok users are like, if someone says hello to you, they're engaging in psychopathic manipulative behavior psychologists call nice bombing, and it's actually attempted murder and human trafficking. One time I talked about the weather to someone I didn't know that well, and later that night I checked their Twitter, and they were vaguing about me being ableist because I forced them to do small talk. Help! Oh my god, shut up! So I had to return a book to the library today, and I came straight from the horse farm. I went to the front desk, and it was an item on loan from another library, and I wasn't sure if it had to be checked in differently. The librarian said no, it could be returned normally in the slot, but she could take it and check it in right away. It was only when I got back to the car that I realized I had walked into the library covered in dirt from head to toe and handed a book about grave robbing back to them. I guarantee you that was the highlight of their day. Or they didn't even really pay attention to the book. All is likely. Is he, you know... My brain feels like it's on fire and my stomach hurts because I can't stop laughing every time I see these two tweets. Is he? Yes. He's Mario. Surprise, fear, drowsiness, wariness, anger, attention. For a second I thought this was a meme and not an informative illustration of horses' moods, and I thought I just couldn't get the joke. Damn, that's all pretty subtle though. If I was the Joker, I'd just get a restraining order on Batman and Superman. What are they gonna do, break the law? Then they're no better than me, a cold-blooded murderer. And this would 100% work, because superhero movies have the takes on ethics since what? You know what? That would come out of her mouth. Yep. Treat spiders the way you want to be treated. Killed without hesitation. And quickly. Kitties are just so baby that they don't even look like kitty yet, they just look like this. Look at this post with your eyes if you agree. Yeah, when they're tall, they're like little melted marshmallows. The eradication of Adobe Flash dress-up games directly led to the creation of NFTs. Sure, I'll incorporate that into my worldview. Okay, but in all honesty, silence or you will be held in contempt of this court. I have nothing but contempt for this court. Has got to be the greatest exchange of words in the human history. And it came from the 1986 Transformers movie. The good one, you mean? The only good one? Yeah. OP, I hope you don't mind me adding, but you who are without mercy now plead for it is also absolutely metal and also comes from the 1986 Transformers movie. Again, the best one, by far. I love punk, because if you don't like a song, just wait, it'll be over in like 90 seconds, don't worry about it. And I love metal because if you do like a song, good news, buddy, there's still 11 more minutes. I haven't been a fan of either. Having sex, partner, how does that feel? Me, checking my mood ring, normal or cool. If Marx was real, what would his Tumblr URL be? If Marx was real? Ah yes, the eternal game of Kirby fan or deluded communist. You would not believe how frickin' hard it was to get him to let us put muscles on that character. Jesus Christ, Disney. Just remember, with so many new inclusive live-action or animated movies that make it into pop culture, we should be praising the ones behind the movie who fought like hell for that inclusiveness, not the companies like Disney that take credit for it. I was so surprised to see a female character with those traits, and I actually said, who made Disney do it? There was a 90% chance it wasn't the company itself, and I knew it! Yeah. Didn't they cancel the entirety of Owl House because two characters were openly gay? That's why Alex Hirsch waited until the very end of Gravity Falls to pretty much confirm that the sheriff and deputy were gay, because he would have been canceled otherwise. There goes Disney being inclusive. People on Twitter are always like, there's still people on Tumblr? As if Twitter wasn't full of stolen text posts, GIFs, and art originally posted here. They think that they're doing an archaeological dig, but really they're just walking into our houses, picking up random stuff and saying, wow, what a beautiful post. Shame that the people who made it died a long time ago, while we stare at them from our dinner tables. Twitter is the British Museum! I hope I don't have to fight my evil shadow self today. Hey, no f***ing way. The morning dew perfectly captured my dog's erratic freedom run. There he goes. He's Newman. The real innovation of Musk's car tunnel is that it's so tight you can't open your doors, you can't pass anyone, and there's no way for an ambulance or fire engine to get in. He has created an LED-lit celebrity death tunnel. Great stuff, man. Wait. Are we sure that's not just a wall painted by Wile E. Coyote? Now that you mention it, it does look very flat. Yeah, that does not look real. That photograph seems messed up. Also, those tunnels are dumb as f***ing shit. Why is there a pentagram on your floor? Okay, first of all, Mom, it's not a pentagram. And second, what were you doing in my apartment? Oh shit, I summoned my mom. A parentagram. Congrats on doing what Ed and Al could not. Who? What if tattoos just randomly appeared on our skin at key points in our lives and we had to figure out what they meant for ourselves? That's actually a really cool story prompt. Somebody write this, oh my god. I'd read the f out of that. My Little Pony. The thing you're wanting. It's My Little Pony. Look, as someone that's watched all of that show at least 3 times at this point in my life, they don't appear and then you have to figure out what they are. Don't you have to find some kind of a talent? Something that you're good at? Something that you can do the rest of your life and then you get the butt tattoo? That's how that works. It's not the other way around. Although, yeah, technically speaking, that's the closest thing I could think of to what they were talking about. How to start discourse. Insert favorite character is a insert Harry Potter house. Sonic is a power bottom. I don't think that sentence starts discourse so much as ends any conversation before it starts. No. Let's talk about it. This made me so f***ing angry I have to inflict it on all of you. What's the punchline here? Wait. Oh. Being friends with crust punks is wild. I knew a guy who got a tattoo of a train on his leg, and then the next week he lost his legs train hopping. When I was like 16, I was on the roof of a house during a party and the cops rolled up. I stayed put, figuring the cops weren't gonna look on the f***ing roof, and I watched this same guy roll out of his wheelchair and slash the cops' tires. Jesus. There's no gay people music. We aren't a monolith, and we all have different taste, except for that Rasputin song. Oh, dude. Best song in Beat Saber, hands down. No one can beat it. Right to repair doesn't go deep enough. If you can't hack, modify, reprogram, or otherwise alter the function of your device, you don't own it. Demand and assert a right to deface. You buy it, you break it. Yeah, I'm getting real sick and tired of not being allowed to own anything that I pay for. I read that... What is that? Capsaicin? Makes your mouth feel like it's burning because it increases your nerve sensitivity to heat, and menthol works by doing the same thing with cold. So, if I eat a habanero pepper and then chew a bunch of breath mints, they'll cancel each other out and I'll be fine? Hey, guess what hellfire tastes like? Fun fact, the nerve endings for ouch too hot and ouch too cold are different, which means that they can both be activated at once without canceling out. Bye-bye, OP. I don't intend to die anytime soon, but just in case, here's my will. All my money goes to the dude at my funeral who tells the best story about me, as voted by other funeral attendees. Any genre is acceptable, but paranormal erotica is highly encouraged. The runner-up gets my corpse. Oh man, it's so hard to deliberately win second place. When you're done with a tab, you can close it. Every browser in the world has a feature that lets you open recently closed tabs. Also, there is browsing history. Need to visit a web page often? May I introduce you to the bookmarks feature? There's no reason to leave your tabs open. Hoarder behavior. OP, I'm gonna hit you with a shovel. 222 golden retrievers gather in Scotland. Their purpose is unknown and likely sinister. The dubious little creatures are demonic in nature. Yucky, up to no good. Me has absolutely no idea what size an acre is in real people language. 1% the size of the wood where Winnie the Pooh lives. Next question. I remember when I was little, I asked my grandma and she said, about the size of a parking lot. And I just accepted that until about 5 years ago I remembered this and was like, wait, parking lots come in different sizes? That bitch really didn't know either. I don't know anybody that does know. I mean, I could Google it, but I'm not gonna. They're literally selling squares of colors as NFTs now. I'm not f***ing kidding. Anish Kapoor strikes again. Remember when DeviantArt users said they owned a specific shade of color because it belonged to their Sonic Recolor OC? Well, don't worry, alright? These NFTs, they don't own those f***ing colors either, dude. It's like being married to someone, although she lives with another dude and you have the marriage certificate. Look, it's all a scam, it's all f***ing stupid. Don't. Please don't. Exclamation marks, but instead of a huge line of them, we do like Roman numerals of them. You know, to save spaces. I'm behind this, 100%. Julius Caesar's assassination was the last time everyone in a group project did their part. Apart from the fact that 60 people agreed to stab him and he only had 23 stab wounds. Hey, look, at least he still had, well, never mind, I'm not gonna go down that road. Now, let's move on. What if there was a show where every character was gay and you had the token straight guy character who acted really stereotypical and was into cars, beer, women, and everyone was like, oh, straight Larry, you're so funny and straight. Am I supposed to know who that guy is, or is that just a rendition? Objection! In the movie Venom, during the first human trials of the symbiote, the research team is happy that the patient's vitals are holding steady. This is a reference to the production team not consulting a single medical professional to find out what good vital signs actually look like. Ah yes, a pulse of 136 and an oxygen saturation of 81%. Wouldn't you be dead? The ideal levels. Yes, nothing to be concerned about there, perfectly normal. They said they were holding steady, not that they were holding healthy. Patient's vitals are steady. Doctor, they're dead. And maintaining that state quite well, what's your point? So you're from the future, the year 2016. So the world's not gonna end in 2012? Well, you're gonna wish it did. I feel like this is gonna be one of those jokes that gets funnier with age, like it's just gonna be as relevant in 2020 as now. Yeah, and 2021, and 2022, and thanks to a certain group of people, probably till 2027. Yeah, it's gonna be a while, man. Hey, do y'all wanna see a dragon that I drew? Of course you do, here he is. Give Robert a friend. This is Mr. Wiggles. Robert needs a girlfriend or boyfriend. Is Mr. Wiggles his boyfriend? This is Robert's significant other, Gertrude. Mr. Wiggles is just a friend. Damn, Robert. How the hell you pull that one in, dude? Do you ever sabotage your own free time? Like, what the f is that about? I want to play this game or read something or do something specific, but instead, I'll stare out the window and scroll mindlessly? Yeah, spacing out can be a bit of a bitch. I do that a lot, you know, and, oh, sorry, I was still recording. I apologize, everyone. Studies show women are less likely to receive CPR in public than men. The idea behind Womanikin, a breasted vest for CPR dummies, is to help address gender disparities in CPR training and performance. I'm begging them to call it literally anything else. You were my sister, Womanikin. I loved you.
You were the chosen one!
Do we not have female CPR dummies? I got CPR certified in high school at some point, but do we not? Really? Why do we need a vest for what? Look, girl help. They only gave me one hit sound. What the hell am I reading? What? Someone want to explain this? I think I might be too dumb to understand TUMBLR. Which, whew, now that I say that out loud, I'm even more upset. Don't worry, bro. It's not gay if the live slug doesn't look at us. Excuse me, what is the live slug doing there? If image files could get pregnant, that'd be JPreg. Ooh, I don't like you, sir. Or ma'am. When you into the void, sometimes it back. What is this creature? March just started and the site is once again incomprehensible. You wouldn't live slug reaction a gay people, would ya? I don't know, I might. The face of a cat who's been coming to Coors Field regularly since March of 2020 and just showed up to the stadium with a crowd in it for the first time. You come to my house! He's not my president bumper sticker with a picture of some random guy that has never been president. Okay, yes, I want to do that. I'm not a bumper sticker guy. All I have is a window sticker of Suction Cup Man, but I'd do that. What a year this week has been. I think you can say that about every single week since March of 2020. Do all sea explorations sound like the scientists are just on Discord? PhD group chat. God gave us hands and we used them to strangle him. We strangled God? When did that happen? My Bible history is just a little rusty right now. Just want to check. What's your pronouns? Thank, he, ham. You know what? From now on, those are mine. I don't know what little cat needs to hear this, but it's not dinner time. You are not going to starve, and it will be okay. Dude, my cat Munchkin needs that reminder every 10 minutes. His whole existence is waiting for me to feed him. He doesn't even sleep that much. He just sits at the bowl and yells all day. My dad and I were talking about the scientist that made milk made from yeast and not from cows, and he said, let's call it Yilk. You know what? On second thought, let's not do that at all, Dad. You don't look ace. What does an asexual person look like? This. Duh. Although, the Ace of Clubs, are you sure? Is the Ace of Clubs really the best one for this? Not hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs, though? Why do they lose more actual pony resemblance with every generation? Those are not horses. 1800s pug. 2020s pug. What are you implying? Is someone selectively breeding the ponies to be less pony as time goes on? Is Generation 6 going to be blobs with butt tattoos? Purchased a Sans Undertale plush for my classroom, and I've been torturing my students by pretending I don't know who he is. The look of pain on their faces when I tell them his name is Sam is worth every dollar I spent on him. So anyway, I think the problem these days lies in vapes and dating apps. Get rid of them and f the dude you bummed a cig from like God intended. Sure, why not? You do you. Whatever floats your dinghy. Good God, Tumblr's a bit of a weird place, isn't it? How the f is Nosferatu 100 years old? Today's the anniversary of the German What? What? Huh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I had to go look that up and, yeah, a 100-year-old movie. I mean, there are a few of those, but dude, what in the hell? That freaks me out. I'm uncomfortable now. I can't wait for Tumblr in like 100 years from now to go, oh my god, the Minions movie hit 100 years old, you guys. The year is 9. Some motherfucker be touching cow tits, and oh boy, he's about to invent cereal. I beg your pardon? Beg. Snail. He eyes big. You damn right about that. A woman's place is on the battlefield. So you think women should die? Funny how you immediately assumed the women would lose the battle. Misogynist much? You're right. I will reflect on my behavior. Sorry, women. Men will literally fry rice. Shrimp behavior, if you will. What's the difference between a balancing act performer and a mountain climber? Well, one's a tightrope walker, and the other's a tightrope rocker. I need to sleep, but I had to write this one down first. I hope you have nightmares. Two-handed sword that belonged to the Bavarian Prince Elector Maximilian II in 1689. What stat requirements do you need to use it? The sword in that last reblog is so much bigger than it looks. Oh, 50 strength. Gotcha. Either there's some camera trickery going on, or Maximilian II was an actual giant. Because I thought William Wallace had a pretty big claymore, dude, but that is otherworldly. Don't Trust Me by 303 comes on, and the feminism leaves my body for a full 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Fun fact, 16-year-olds don't know this song, and if you play it in a car full of 10 of them, they'll hate it. This is a song that is good because you already know it. It cannot be reintroduced. It was a mortifying 3 minutes. I'm gonna go re-listen to that song real quick. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Alright, just listen to it. Yeah, I agree. Very unsettling threats. I will boil your teeth. I swear to God, I'll fill your sinuses with urine. I'll invert your rib cage. I'll squeeze your kneecaps. I'm gonna harvest your toes. I'll pour cement into your ears. This is by no means a complete list. Feel free to add whatever you'd like. Hey, comments, this is your time to shine. Dear Santa, why do all my toys say made in China? I guess even you can't abstain from the allure of cheap labor. Oink oink, you capitalist pig. I was drinking water and just spit it out onto my screen. Holy sh*, for real. Shout out to jars of minced garlic. I'd straight up never cook if I didn't have pre-minced garlic. Some people about stuff like that and say it's for people who can't cook or it's not as good, but honestly, I don't have a lot of energy at the end of the day. I'm not very skilled in the kitchen, and I get overwhelmed by things that have a lot of steps. Things like pre-minced garlic allow me to make real food for my family because it cuts out extra prep work, and washing that would otherwise scare me away from a recipe. And the end result tastes good. Don't worry about pretentious people's opinions. Take shortcuts. Use jarred garlic. I agree. You can cook amazing things from a box or with pre-done prep work. And honestly, if Gordon Ramsay tries to tell you different, well, he's cursed with a crazy palate. That dude can just suck it. Today I learned Garfield's assassin, Charles, whatever your last name is, was so hated that when he joined a Christian free love commune, no one would have sex with him. They started calling him Charles Get Out, a play on words for get out. Garfield's dead? The US president, hun. Garfield was the president? This is news to me. The Jewish-Japanese Sex and Cookbook and How to Raise Wolves. A lot covered in one book. Where have you been, Jack Douglas? What kind of things have you seen? Plot twist, the introverted character who doesn't like big social gatherings or speaking in front of people is still an introvert by the end of the story because introversion is not a character flaw and it doesn't need to be overcome. I forgot I said this, but I'm going to say it again. If you ever want to find a genie and you're really craving a dessert that looks like this, do not say, I'd like a lifetime supply of raspberry crowns. While this is in fact the name of the pastry, it's also the name of a species of wasp for some reason. The genie, being a nasty trickster, will no doubt give you a bunch of wasps. This is an oddly specific post. Are you okay? No, they're clearly being f***ed up by a bunch of wasps. Putting a flower crown on serial killers harms absolutely nobody. When was the last time someone was actually injured by a serial killer? The 50s? Sorry if you think this is a trend, but putting a circlet of flowers on top of a real human being that drove a 5-inch steel knife into an innocent person's beating heart can be qualified as self-expression. Learn it. P.S. I play Reaper in Overwatch and talk like Solid Snake when I'm on the phone. I could have hacked the stock market if I needed to. Bye! I can't decide what my favorite line of this is. The government literally wanted to nuke New York, and now they're the ones telling the Avengers that they've caused too much damage. I just can't. Well, at least it's 100% in character with how a government would act, or rather with how ours would act. The other day, a man signed up for our Advantage card, and I asked for his email, and he looked at me and goes, "No, I have a Gmail. I don't even know what an email is." I was just in so much awe for a moment that I just smiled enthusiastically and replied, "It's okay, that works," meanwhile internally screaming. Honestly, if anyone wants to know what retail is like on a daily basis, this is it. I want a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie that's PG-13. And of course, Wade is constantly breaking the fourth wall. He's making up all of these filler cuss words, and when Peter is confused like, "What?" Wade just says, "I only get one word in this movie, so I'm saving it for an opportune moment." There's a moment of silence as Wade realizes that, well, he just said the word. He hangs his head with a disappointed sigh, followed by a bleeped out Yeah, that would be funny, but because you suggested it, I hope they never do it. You guys want to see the most accurate and blasphemous representation of the words Catholic shaming? Happy Easter, everyone! A peacock, but all of the eyes on the feathers are human. The spreading of the tail isn't a mating display, it's to help with finding and hunting prey. Similarly to a chameleon, you can tell when it's locked onto a target because of all the dozens of eyes that were previously looking in different directions suddenly snap to looking at one thing. Otherwise, it's a normal peacock that interacts normally with others, grazing on vegetation and occasionally eating rodents or birds that get too close, and almost never taking human infants. Okay, this is not cryptid. I think he's kinda cute. Kinda. Clearly an apex predator, though. Wish my life was like a 90s movie where all my friends work in record stores and bookshops and coffee shops, and we see really cool bands and small little clubs and get breakfast together and hang out on roofs and what I thought my life would be like as a child. If you ever feel sad, just remember that Snape had to teach Luna potions too. What are you doing, Miss Lovegood? I decided to not make this potion, Professor. It has bad energy. You what? Bad energy. Bad. But I revitalized this flower for you from the ingredients and you can put it in your hair. I think it would look very nice on you. Keeps away the rack spurts. Whatever the hell that means. Awkward slides away. I'm gonna give you, you just get this one. You get this one slightly cringy Harry Potter thing, alright? Okay, so there's a game me and my friends play called Don't Get Me Started. And basically, someone gives another person a random topic and they have to go on an angry rant about it. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to us at parties and car rides, so I highly recommend playing sometimes with your friends. I actually did that to cheer someone up once. I was ranting about Sheen from Jimmy Neutron because I f***ing hate Sheen. The Kusanagi Valentine Katsuragi scale measures how well you're handling life as a badass purple-haired single woman in a dystopian future. Sorry, badass purple-haired was kinda hard to read. Really good, could do better, a f***ing mess. I mean, I guess, but biblical angels, but their true form looks like the patterns in 90s arcade carpets. Be not afraid. That's just microbiology in it. Obsessed with this answer. You Tumblr, you don't even think I'm real. Who made this fake screenshot? It's really well done. Shout out to the guy in charge of the train station at my hometown who doesn't limit himself to announcing trains, but also comments on interesting birds he sees on the platform, gives completely unofficial weather reports on what he thinks the day is going to be like, refers to very crowded trains as friendly trains, regularly congratulates everyone on having gotten up on time on Monday morning, basically seems to use the tannoy system to amuse himself and try and brighten up everyone's morning commute, refers to himself as the Fat Controller. What magical land do you live in, where there's something other than a robot in charge of train announcing? I don't know, but I'd like to live there. As a kid, I never appreciated the comedic genius of my elementary school principal, who, whenever our school won against another school in a sport, would play what felt like 2 minutes of We Are the Champions over the PA during announcements. And just as it's going, because we are the champions of, he'd hit stop, and his deadpan voice over the PA system would go, Brampton. We had a middle school dance DJ who would do something very similar with Party in the USA. He'd play the chorus like, yeah, 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 it's a party in the, and then stop the music and just say, school. This is so f***ing funny. It is. Can you tell by the way I'm reading it? Ho ho ho, this thing looks interesting. I'll go and have a look. Sniff, 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 gets flashbanged. My favorite example of writers forgetting about show, don't tell is when they have a character tell us, the audience, something that immediately gets contradicted by the visual medium. Like when a character says, "I'm not all that attractive," while looking like a supermodel, or a character says, "I don't kill," to the main villain when they've slaughtered dozens of main villain's goons. My favorite example of this happening is in Fate/Stay Night, when Saber says, "Most men wouldn't find my body attractive due to her muscles." Muscles which the artist forgot to give her. It's March! You know what that means! Ooh, who we going for? Zuko was having a crisis for 3 weeks after joining the gang because he realizes A, Katara, Aang, and Sokka could have and would have easily murdered him had they been about 5% more emotionally unstable, and B, he had stopped actively trying to capture the Avatar right before the person who had no such qualms about murder, Toph, joined their team. Why don't the people of Gotham just move? Because it's a massive East Coast city, but the property values are probably like $200 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment, and most Gothamites are like, "Hey, Bane never swore to break my neck." And here's the thing. You're not just moving out of Gotham City, you're moving into the rest of the DC universe, and it has hero-based power scaling. Oh, Metropolis looks fucking great, but it gets invaded by aliens and robots and demigods, because Superman is there. Wonder Woman's tangling with gods. You go to Central City and some reverse Flash motherfucker runs backwards from an alternate future and kicks your off at the speed of light. You could move to the West Coast and, oh, an entire city just gets exploded by the cyborg Superman or something. How about, you know what? I think we get the point. Gotham is affordable. That's really it. It's all you need. 30 times the glass was not strong enough. God damn, what's she made out of, dude? I have to share this with y'all. My sister was looking up different ancient death gods from around the world, and she discovered a guy called Medjed, or Medjed, from ancient Egyptian mythology. His name means the Smiter, and he's from the Book of the Dead, and he shoots out of his eyes. Oh, and he looks like this. What the fuck? The Smiter. Why he look like that, though? Stimming isn't enough. I need to fucking explode. What? Oh boy, what do we have here? I got violent flashbacks from this image alone. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was the bathroom. I love when the gender options are male, female, and prefer not to answer. Like, it just reads as boy, girl, and what are you, a cop? I don't owe you anything. May we ask whether you're a lady or a gentleman? Lady? Gentlemen, my dear sir, there are individuals roaming the streets of fallen London at this very moment with the faces of squid. Squid! Do you ask them their gender? And yet you waste our time asking me trifling and impertinent questions about mine? It is my own business, sir, and I bid you a good day. The other day I answered the door for my postman. I was signing for stuff like you do when my kid came downstairs with only his underwear and a t-shirt on. Now, the postman couldn't see him from the front door, and I scribbled my signature and said to my son, "You need to put some trousers on." The postman very slowly looked down at his trouser-clad legs with a mixture of confusion and horror, and then back up at me. When I explained I was talking to my little boy out of his line of sight, he gave a very solemn nod and said, "I thought I'd put my trousers on this morning, but suddenly when you said that, I really wasn't sure." Years after this, I still have the same postman. He still always wears trousers, but every time I answer the door, I'm pretty sure we both remember this incident. Oh, he's never forgetting, dude. Haha, 2. Right, 2. Employer offers PTO. Employee uses PTO. Employer, you can't do this to me. NYPD out here protecting the Wall Street bull. We deserve more elegant metaphors. Y'all remember that story in the Bible about Moses condemning the people idol-worshipping? A golden calf statue? Or like, nah, makes a Wilhelm scream when I... Yeah, I'm sorry, man. At that point, you're not allowed to within earshot of any human being ever again. Ever. Anybody that's sleeping with you? Earplugs. And gun range earplugs. Who's the burger now? Hanged burger. Does it taste good? Oh no. Oh, that makes me sad. 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone. Look on my blocks, ye busters, and despair. I do despair a lot. Roman soldier. Halt, strange person, where are you from? Time traveler. I come from the future. What are your names? This is Quintus, as I am the 5th child in my family. My comrade is Sextus, for he was the 6th child in his family. What is your name? My name's Liv. Starts counting on his fingers as his eyes open in fear. Has anyone tried to see if chimpanzees or bonobos can be taught to fully master fire? This one guy did, and he was chained to a mountain to have an eagle eat his liver every day. What? How you been? That bean looks so done, and it doesn't even have a face. Honestly, you are very correct. That is a fantastic frame. Me with a cursed amulet. But it makes me look cute, and the shadow that follows me makes me active. I get out more. Think about it, it's good for me. What is it about being on a plane that makes people go buck wild for ginger ale? Literally everyone be ordering it. Well, ginger ale is supposed to help settle your stomach if you're nauseous, so people get it on planes if they get plane sick. Ginger grow in the ground so it keeps you connected to God's earth while you're thousands of feet up in the heathen tube. Some of us just like ginger ale, man. What an idiot. The iron isn't even plugged in. He's trying, and that's all that matters. Black Mirror. Society is too addicted to technology. Me on my phone while watching every episode? Wild. Wait, I have an awesome house design. I am architecture. Okay, here we go. We've got entrance, looking house, pretty cool. Closet door, big, long, evil closet. Okay. This is so evil that it's been on my dash probably half a dozen times, and only now is my brain finally comprehending what nightmare is happening here. This would either be cool or horror, depending on who you are. Oh, dude, me? I would absolutely play it up for the horror aspect. One of my friends accidentally discovers it, and then, you know, thinks he's stumbled into hell. Oh, I'd be all over that, man. A scaleless snake. They're scaleless as a result of a mutation. I feel like I'm seeing something I shouldn't have the ability to perceive. Hineki lewd noodle. A loodle, if you will. It looks like a snake-shaped sphinx cat. I think he's cute. Look at those big eyes. I just want to pick you up, give you, come here. Starting a fight, consoling a child, petting a dog. Hey, buddy. But what are the orange, green, and purple ones? Orange. You want to go outside? Purple. Shushing noises. Green. Do you want me to call your mommy? So I just got to that part of Kingdom Hearts. What the fuck? Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? Yeah, I could try and ask Zach, because he's played most of them, if not all of them, but, Cannibalism. No. I think you mean Canana-banana-banana-banana-banana-ism. Canana-bananalism. What the hell is wrong with you people? Look, I don't know, I just read here. Self-fulfillment needs, psychological needs, basic needs, beheld and rice. Are you a wet cell phone? No, look, rice is just awesome, okay? Never trust these hoes with idealized utopia islands and all cute cat villagers. When they aren't posting pastel screenshots of their island, they're beating the shit out of their unwanted villagers with a net until they move away. Could have stopped 4 words in, playa. Co-signed. I love when kinky people are like, I'm such a freak in private. You'd never guess that in my normal life I'm a nerd who works in tech and plays D&D. Baby girl, yes we would! Can y'all stop finding me in the woods and asking me for my Windussy? The first time it was funny, but when you record me and post it on the internet as a meme, I will tear your skull out and drink your brain juice like Mountain Dew. What? Oh my god, look at those anime eyes. Oh my god, look at those anime eyes! There are 2 kinds of anime. The series involves a young man out on a quest with a goal that seems impossible. He's accompanied by a female and a male companion. What is their goal, you may be asking? Simple, to get them all. The protagonist goes through many hardships, but thanks to the help of his friends, he's able to overcome them. Battling many opponents from large to small, he loses many friends along the way, but this doesn't stop him from going after what he wants more than anything else in the world. Oh my god. I don't know what the second one is. What is that? Is that Attack on Titan? I don't know. Oh my god. So we opened the portal to hell today. What? They canceled that unit in my school science classes every year! Me thinking about how Freud and Carl Jung had a very strong academic and regular friendship, but they got into a huge fight with each other over academic and philosophical differences. And couldn't reconcile their differences because one of them believed that human identity was immutable and decided before birth, while the other believed that human identity was collective and more fluid. And I'm like, maybe y'all could have mixed your ideas to make them either 1, less insane, or possibly 2, 10 times as insane and hilarious. I definitely lean more towards Carl Jung's side in the idea that human identity is fluid and collective. That's great. An Australian guy, Bill Morgan, was declared dead for 14 minutes. He somehow survived. To celebrate his survival, he bought a scratch card and won a $27,000 car. The media/news asked him to reenact the scratch card moment, so he bought another card and won another $250,000 jackpot. God is trying to apologize. Oh, my bad, bro. He must have went to hell for that 14 minutes. Welcome to hell, Phil. What the? Who's Phil? Aren't you Phil Morgan? Today's your day, kid. What? No, my name's Bill. I'm Bill. I'm dead? Oh, give me a sec. Dials heaven. They can do that? DTF. All head over heels. She's got 4 hands. Lesbians are just that powerful, man. Yeah, didn't they teach you that in school? They taught me that in school. How do I sleep at night knowing Charles Martinet is a classically trained professional voice actor who stayed perfectly in character during his original audition and performed till they ran out of recording tape and ad-libbed his lines for MTT to be kinder and more encouraging than his original script, and treasures his Mario voice very dearly and loves performing it, and they gave him a bit of a cameo in a movie about the iconic, beloved character he's voiced for decades in favor of Chris Pratt. Charles, I want to voice Mario until I drop dead Martinet. Woohoo! Honestly, it does piss me the fuck off. You know, as someone who is a professional voice actor and has been for over a decade now, I'm really tired of the let's get the famous guy. I understand from a business standpoint, let's get the famous guy usually means more people are gonna go see your movie, but if Mario was still played by Charles and all the other characters were played by the famous actors that play them, what the fuck? Seriously, Charles can do it. I, for one, am one of the people that am more than okay with them saying, Chris got paid, but fuck it, let's have Charles give it a go. Make it a Blu-ray extra. I don't care. I want to hear it. Listen to the French dub of that trailer and tell me that's not immediately 1,000 times better. I'm sorry, but Pratt just seems like a bit of a brat and didn't seem like he really put in any work. That's just my opinion from the, again, like 2 lines we heard. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna wait. For final judgment, I'm gonna wait, okay? I take back what I said. I'll wait. I promise. Just for you, even though you don't give a shit. Imagine a horse game without all the drama and busy work. The fuck is horse game drama? If you have to ask, then you aren't prepared to know. As I've said many times, no Android redesign of GLaDOS will ever be hotter than her canon design. You may quote me on this till the day I die. How do you have sex with that? I don't know. Rise to the occasion or die where you stand, coward. Adult cereals. 50 Shades of Grain. Flakes. Special D. Rice Frisky. Raisin Bran. Oh, dear Lord. Nout matter. Only pain. Suffering. God said, how shall I slap a man most bastardly? And backhanded he... what? Actually, it was me. I ate them as a joke, on all 4s at 5 a.m. while snuffling in the dirt. Sorry. That Imagine Dragons song. Uh-oh, the f***ery. Everyone wanna be my... Oh, I see what you're saying. An animal ate all of my boyfriend's decorative cabbages, and he's reacting really okay and proportionally. I mean, decorative cabbages are pretty neat, but okay, honestly, no, I'd react exactly the same way. One of the pranks I would play on my mutuals if I had a time machine would be copying their response to something, going back in time 5 minutes before they posted it, and rewriting the response in full where they could see it. Would they recognize their own writing? Would they sense the uncanniness of it? Wait, wouldn't they recognize their own writing? Wouldn't that make their reblog moot? Hey, what the f***? Is Ovo a variant of Owo, or in fact someone wearing the Plague Doctor mask? Ovo, do you's got the plaguey waggy? We gotta fix that before you die, why? I regret everything. No, you don't. Don't sit there and lie. Okay? We know you. Any word that sounds like it might be the noun form of a verb is in fact the noun form of a verb is 100% a valid grammatical rule. Fingers do thing. Creatures do creech. The frisbee is frizzbed by the frisber. That's a bit of a... Hold on. Let me get that one more go. The frisbee is frizzbed by the frisber. Wow, that's tough to say with a throat as swollen as mine right now, let me tell you. Watching Hocus Pocus made me think that Azraphale... Is it Azraphale? And Crowley were obviously alive in the 1600s, and so on. Would they even know about the Sanderson sisters, or at least have seen what they have done through the centuries? Thinking what their take would be on them. And that was why God created fan fiction. Oh, they definitely knew. I can't decide if Chainsaw Man's actually a commentary on the frankly absurd hardships and sacrifices the average human is expected to throw themselves into in order to attain even the most basic needs in Maslow's hierarchy, or if I'm simply overthinking a series about what if Guy had chainsaws for arms, would that be cool or what? For context, I just read the arc where Denji literally goes to hell so he can enjoy a nice vacation. He goes there for what? Yeah, you know, I do feel like a lot of anime is just what-if weird thing. That's it. And I love it. That's why I love anime so much. It's because there is nothing that seems to be off-limits in that world. Nothing stupid sounding will be called too stupid for anime. I mean, my favorite one's about a theme park full of magical creatures where they have to hit a certain number of visitors in the year or they're going to be closed down, which means all the magical creatures are going to be severed from their actual magical world and then they're all going to die. You know, Amagi Brilliant Park, best anime ever? Yeah, I knew you knew. I'd never suck someone silly. It sounds serious to me. Suck him scary. Eldritch horror. We cannot and will not describe anything. Gothic horror. Minimum 4 pages to describe a staircase. There's 2 ends of the horror spectrum. Do both at once. The narrator describes the house in extreme detail to cope with the inability to describe that which lives inside it. Compound swears like gibbon work best when the second word is a 2-syllable word, where the first syllable is stressed and contains the same vowel of the swear. This is why womble works, but womble does not. Finally, a logical explanation of why bucket is such a good word. Trumpet and biscuit finally makes sense now. I feel like half of that was bleeped, I'm so sorry. But also not. More sea life themed disaster movies. Sharknado, Seal-Nami, Crabalanche, Whale Storm, lamprey are falling from the sky for no apparent reason, a light but relentless drizzle of anchovies. That one I need. Are you gonna make me beg? Come on, just stick it in there. I feel like Tumblr's giving me a somewhat skewed impression of what Breaking Bad is about. No, that's right. Thinking about hospital and university underground tunnels. There's something about them. Oh my god, that one right before the middle one. I'll just say the middle one. That's the worst one. Like, literally your doctor tells you to go to another building and take the tunnel because it's faster, and you end up in a literal back room, and depending on how new the construction is, you'll encounter all 3 pictured above in order. My favorite part of this post is most people in the notes are like, yeah, scary underground tunnels under hospitals and universities. We've seen all of them. But there's also a small group of people who have never heard of these in their life and are very confused right now. Like me. Floofability score. Sheep. Wait a minute. How am I not supposed to bury my face in this fluff? Apex predator my ass. I'm gonna pet this dog. Although logic, common sense, and basic self-preservation instincts tell us better, we must agree with you, good sir. If bear not friend, why snuff them round? A point we simply cannot and will not refute. I've never seen Death Note, but I know it has 2 characters that look like this, and one of them's an antisocial genius using a mystical artifact to kill people, and the other one's the determined teen detective hunting him down, and I just found out which is which, and now I want to hit someone. I don't know which ones are which. I've never seen that one. Something is wrong with everyone on this website. It's like Chernobyl in here. No, Germa's just awesome. Teach a man to fish and he'll turn around and try to teach you to fish like he invented it and you're an idiot. I feel this in my soul. I feel that funny watermark. A family of cheetah brothers attempting to cross a flooded river infested with crocodiles in, well, a nature reserve in Kenya. They all made it across without being eaten. Oh, would you look at them go. Look at them teepees. Yep, they look just like that, don't they? Is it weird that the voice that plays in my head when I read your posts is that of a vaguely royal female British historian? Well, you may be wildly off base in terms of gender, national origin, profession, and social class, but unless the posh British historian you're picturing is specifically a posh British furry historian, at least you got the species right. Other scorpions have really badass tail stingers and claws, but the lesser-known tailless whip scorpion has an even better defense mechanism. Just grab me when I get you. Oh my god. Decommissioned kid rides in a scrapyard in Japan. The council. You stand before them after you die and they decide if you go to heaven. Hopefully I haven't disappointed my boy Thomas. Nicknames. When you shorten someone's name affectionately. Nicholas names. When you elongate someone's name affectionately. Nichard names. When you incorrectly elongate someone's name for humorous effect. Names. When you just start making things up. I like names, they're kind of fun. Like 10 or so years ago, my boyfriend got me a cute little stuffed lamb. I still have the lamb, and the boyfriend, but I realized a few months ago that I never named the lamb. I was unsuccessful in trying to figure out a good name until I thought of your dog, Lamb Chop, and something shaped vaguely like divine inspiration struck. Now the lamb's name is Dog Steak. Last sentence hit me like a truck. Thank you, we are honored. Oh god, what's this? Falcon Nest Cam. Oh, I see. Nope. Definitely one of the top images of all time, I gotta say. Hey, thank you to Birdwatcher32 for the bits, bro. Okay, yep, I was waiting for it. Experienced the generational gap in real life today when my 16-year-old cousin told me my haircut looked like a K-pop idol's, and my 56-year-old mother said I looked like I belong in the Beatles. Either way, I was left dead on the streets, so, maybe this is a message? No matter how much things change, something, whatever, I'm leaving to go cry now. Imagine if aliens found the dead body of a human being, exploded in the vacuum of space, and they started making fun of the mutilated corpse, calling it Splatter Alien, and saying it was the ugliest alien in the whole galaxy. And then made stuffed animals of it to sell to their alien kids. That's what happened on this planet to the blobfish. That's right. I love old science fiction because it's all like, it's the distant year 2003, and man is exploring the deep corners of the universe. Like, God bless you, old sci-fi, you had such high hopes for us. I was applying for Australian citizenship, and the interviewer asked, "Do you have a criminal record?" I said, "No, is that still required?" Oh my god. Jeff, I swear. Dudes who are atheists but believe in the Earth is a simulation theory are so frickin' funny. Like, they do believe in God, but only if he's some sweaty programmer. I can see it. I forgot I was making caramel at work. It's a tad overcooked. Congrats on making actual lava, I guess? I feel like the Earth already makes that pretty well. Do you think Magneto gets tan lines from his helmet? It looks like he tanned a d onto his face. Yes, it does. No need to be mean. I like haunted houses in theory, but I have no idea how to react when the actors speak to you. They ask me a question and I just answer it. The scariest part of a haunted house is the unscripted social interaction. Scary nurse in a creepy voice. "Do you have an appointment to see the doctor?" Me. Do you accept walk-ins?" Scary farmer. "I like to kill people." My friend brightly. "I like to die." Zombie. Arrgh. Me. "Do you get dental insurance?" Zombie. "Teeth." That doesn't really answer the question, but I guess it does enough for our purposes, so. This happened to me. Scary prison dude. "Hello." Me. "Nice to meet you." Him. "No, it's not." My worst horror house experience was when I couldn't find the rather obvious exit, and the guy chasing me with a chainsaw stopped, sighed, and pointed to the exit, saying, "Please scream as loud as you can when you run out of here," and just left. I disappointed the horror house chainsaw dude, and I'll never get over that. They got the hardest job, man, because everybody knows they're there. One of the characters in our D&D party is an orc named Brick. We've established that orcs got their names through tests of strength, and his name is Brick because it's the strongest thing he was able to break with his bare hands. By profession, Brick is a therapist. His ultimate ambition is to be, well, or rather one day, do therapy so good he can change his name to Depression. I went into this expecting a beautiful himbo and came out in love with Brick and crying over therapist orcs. I think we can all say that. Sneezing on your period's the worst thing in the world. What happens when you sneeze? Oh, no, come on, no, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here, bro. First letter of my name. Second letter of my name. First letter of my mom's name. Second letter of my mom's name. First letter of my dad's name. Second letter of my dad's name. My child's name would be, my name is Naomi. My mom's name is Ruth. My dad's name is Tom. My child would be called Naruto. Good luck. Your breast reduction was a success. Where's James? Who do you think took your boobs? James, no! No, James! I know unicorns are usually silver or lavender with those skinny horse legs built for running, but I'd like to see more unicorns with natural coloration built like tanks like these beasts. We need a scale of unicorn. On one end, you have Amalthea. Amalthea, last unicorn? Amal, the last? I don't know what you're trying to say there. Who is the peak of elegant otherworldly unicorns with silver and lavender colors. And then we need the opposite of that. We need a unicorn who looks like the horse version of a trucker. I think My Little Pony did that pretty efficiently, right? Right? I'd love to be like, science sucks. Where are the eldritch horrors? Where's the knowledge that's maddening to know? That's thermodynamics, motherfucker. The first two world experts in thermodynamics both killed themselves because they had to do thermodynamics. Oh, you want to use abstract methodology, poorly understood by most, to study something so alien to human existence and cannot be intuitively understood? Then in doing so, uncover a terrible truth that implies the unavoidable doom of all humanity? Nice going, ding-dong, you just found out about entropy. Entropy? What? No more cat boys. Catman. 28-year-old washed-up, depressed Catman downing his fifth Catman. I can't read. Downing his fifth whiskey glass, and his cat ears twitch depressedly. And then he pushes the empty glass forlornly off the counter. It's crazy growing up and realizing how deranged everyone is and how many problems everyone has in such mundane ways. Your waiter at Olive Garden believes in QAnon. The woman doing your x-ray just moved in with a guy she met a week ago. Your insurance agent is a hoarder, etc. Are Americans finally realizing they aren't secretly the main character and others are not NPCs and we're all in fact people? Yeah, this was the first time I've ever had this thought, and it's because I'm a stupid little Yank. I do like that, though. Only Americans can come to the weird sudden realization of, wow, all people are people with enriched lives doing things. Yeah, grow the fuck up. The Terraria wiki is incomprehensible if you've never played the game itself. You click on an article about a weapon that looks nice, and the description will be something like, the Slayer of Titans is a pre-Binga summoning weapon unlocked post-Scrungle. Its base summon damage is 43. Using it activates the Skimblow status effect, which increases your Yoinky stat. Its EBDB counterpart is the legendary F***upper. It has a 1 out of 16 or 6.25% chance of dropping by defeating Michael. I feel like you could say this with a lot of games, though, if you're heading in without context. Riddle me this, Batman. If quizzes are quizzical, what are tests? Was this actually part of the new Batman movie? It's Friday. Post horsemouth bird. Ned, how do I remove this from my memory? You can't! He lives there now. Hashtag body horror. Oh, it's more than that, man. Oh, it's more than that. Gonna start running all of my posts through several layers of Google Translate just to keep the boys guessing. I'll start running all my posts with different Google Translation levels to make kids guess. I'm gonna start posting all of my posts in the step of transferring the kids Google can guess. Google can think that I'll start publishing all of my posts during the child replacement phase. During the what? The church doesn't want you to know this, but the reason monks what? Tonsure their hair is because they need exposed skin on their head to photosynthesize. They can't fully shave their heads because bald guy swag is an earthly delight and they refuse to indulge in it.
Mr. Worldwide!
You're not some daddy's boy who tries to dolphin me and then blimps. I understand all of those words separately. When you talk to a native speaker who uses slang but you've only ever learned formal language in class. Fanfic authors, canon's gonna break your heart, man. And when it does, I'll be here to pick up the pieces and put you back together, because that's what a real content creator does. Jacob Janurka. Hello, this is Crab. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a crab. Oh, I see. I got you. No, I kind of vaguely get that one.
Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a crab.
Look at this absolute baby I found at work the other day. She absorbed the secrets of the orange and cannot handle what she has learned. Weakling. Fool that you are. She has gained the orange's understanding, and therefore, its anger. Gordon Ramsay voice. I'm not gonna do it. The chicken is crucified. It's on the cross. Cut to shaky cam footage of a raw rotisserie chicken on a tiny cross. I wouldn't mind if that show had more goofy moments like that. Restaurant in Japan tries to make dining alone less awkward by seating patrons with giant stuffed animals. Shall we order dessert? No thanks. I'm stuffed. What are those little guys called? Aren't they a Finnish thing? Moomins? Is that right? No, is that right? Today I learned no studies have found MSG unsafe for consumption, and hundreds of studies have found it perfectly safe. Likewise, MSG's common reputation as unsafe mostly stems from one person's unverified complaints and speculation, and the substance has been considered safe by the USDA for 58 years. I just don't think people should be eating copies of Metal Gear Solid. Metal Sear Golid. Right. You had it backwards, my friend. Refreshing. 0% better. Me, after my 15-minute break at work. Damn, you got 15 minutes? I got like 34 seconds on my regular breaks. Every Olympic event should include one average person competing for reference. I'd watch every event if they did this. And here's our average Joe, who was just explained 5 minutes ago how curling works. Here's Stacy. She ice skated twice in her whole life, and today she competes beside the best in the world. And she fell again. What a good sport. Look at her get up using the wall. I wouldn't mind seeing more of this. The Olympics are already full of amateurs. Amateurs, remember, not people that are inexperienced. Having one that would be a great idea. Concept. Basically Among Us, except if you don't perform your tasks in an OSHA-compliant fashion, there's a random chance you'll accidentally kill yourself. The imposters can't murder anyone directly. They can only create workplace hazards or sabotage tasks to require precautions they ordinarily don't. Among Us. This could be a fun game mode. It could be. It makes things a little less simple. Leaving house, good for depression, bad for anxiety. Staying at house, good for anxiety, bad for depression. Standing directly in the doorway to achieve peak mental health. Yep, right in the front door, dude. What else can you do? Don't ask why Kenny wanted to be a chick, it's just how he seems to be rolling right now. That awkward moment when Eric Cartman is more tolerant and enlightened than the majority of people. Cartman has had quite an arc over the last 25 years, dude. Remember when every girl wanted this phone? Yo, if you had this phone in 2005, you were the coolest bitch on the block. I didn't know this was my thing. My dad had this phone. Then your dad was the coolest bitch on the block. There are no exceptions. I actually, for a very short period in time, had the knockoff version of the Razor, straight up called the Crazer. I don't know who it was made by, but it was a knockoff version. Just woke up from a nap and had a dream that they announced a new capybara Pokemon, and it was literally just a regular capybara named Capybara. Artist's rendition. Is there not actually just a Pokemon that's just a dude? That's just a little dude like this? There has to be at least one, right? We've got little ice cream cones flying around at this point. Why can't there just be a normal animal? The year is 2053. A girl lays on her bed wearing vintage Ugg boots. I was born in the wrong generation, she sighs, as she listens to Taylor Swift and cries over a One Direction poster. Some kids are actually gonna be like this. You do realize that. Yeah, this sure terrifies me. Oh man, stop. Just please stop. Apparently when my grandma first came to America, she didn't know what a raccoon was and assumed it was just a f***ed up cat and adopted it. Just imagine this 13-year-old girl with a heavy Eastern European accent being like, "This is my cat, Peter. He's not very friendly." Did it work out? Was she able to woo the raccoon? What a nice sheep, I think, as I gaze out at a field. The sheep, facing away, starts to raise its head. I stare in mounting horror as the head keeps rising, neck elongating in some cursed spectacle that roots me to the fucking spot in fear until I realize, oh, it's an alpaca. Thought this was gonna be a horror short fiction, but no, it's just rural. The veil between rural and eldritch is far thinner than anyone wishes to guess. You're damn right about that one, friend. Do you ever start bullshitting a paper and then look over it halfway through and think, wait a minute, I could be onto something here? This is the definition of college. Literally, I was writing a paper on Asian saltwater crocodiles, like a simple about them paper for a college class, and I started noticing some inconsistencies in the scientific papers I was sourcing, and I accidentally discovered that the crocodile had been misdiagnosed as least concerned on the endangered species list, when they should be classified as endangered, and now my professor's having me write a formal report to the International Red List to have them reclassified, and all I wanted to do was write this paper on an animal. I thought it was cool, and now I'm considered an expert on this species. Well, when in Rome, go to Olive Garden, my friend. Methinks Tadashi's legacy lies not in Baymax's 1,000 plus medical procedures, but in the fact that he programmed his robot to act wasted when his battery is low. Hashtag, he's such a college student, why do people forget it? Oh, they're not really hashtags, I don't give a crap. Big Hero 6. That sure was a movie. Haven't seen that one in a little bit. You know how most of the things humans use as spices are poisonous or repellent to most other animals? And you know how anything vaguely D&D inspired has dwarves being way more poison resistant than even humans? Dwarf cuisine shouldn't be bland. It should be unimaginably spicy and potentially harmful or fatal to humans, like green potato and rhubarb leaf salad with a festive garnish of yew berries and deadly nightshade berries. That kind of thing. Concept. Humans think it's bland, because rather than memorizing what kills humans, it's safer to just pass on the spices. Should we add salt? Everyone eats salt, right? No, that's a rock. There's no way humans eat rocks. You think that's crazy? Try drinking a dwarfen beer. Being alive is great, because there are so many different vegetables you can saute. But then, there are also the horrors. I don't want to talk about the horrors today, actually, but thank you. So I went to the eye doctor, right? And I sat down to fill out all the paperwork like you do, and the lady was like, "Thanks, Doctor will be with you in a moment." And I was like, why did she say doctor twice? That's weird. But then I looked at the business cards on the table and his name was actually Dr. Chad Doctor. And I looked around and the other assistant caught my eye and just nodded like, you just had the moment, didn't you? Chad saw his chance and he took it. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you, right? Seal grabs Diver's hand and now Diver understands. Give it love. Can we please stop turning villains into anti-heroes? I'm all for redemption arcs, but it only works if the characters haven't committed like 1,000 serious crimes before. before, and I mean serious crimes. Jane Austen really said, "I respect the I can fix him movement, but that's just not me. He'll fix him himself if he knows what's good for him." And that's why her works are still calling the shots today. Meanwhile, Emily Bront just said, "We can make each other worse." Mary Shelley said, "I can make him." I don't know who any of these people are, but I'm sure these folks are correct. Romeo, "I dreamt a dream tonight." Mercutio, "And so did I." Well, what was yours? That dreamers often lie. Romeo, "I had this intense dream last night, bro." "Ah, so did I." "What'd you dream, dude?" "That you're full of shit." Zorro's worst outfit. "He looks like he works in a malt shop." Hey, at least he's comfy, right? I mean, come on. Short people. Whenever you may feel frustrated or sad about being short, look at this picture and remember you will never have to experience the annoying tall person shower squat, since 95% of showers are designed for people under 5'5", and being 6'3" has this effect. This actually makes me feel a lot better, thank you and God bless. I'm 6'3", by the way, and I've never experienced a shower head being that short. Never once in my life. So I don't know what the hell he's on about here. Disappointing. You've allowed yourself to be defined by a single genre, God's silence. Hey, what the hell is God's silence, huh? Okay, but consider this. Mermaids in space. Space mermaids? As in alien mermaids that live in the vacuum of space and swim between the stars? A setting that uses the analogy of deep space as the open ocean but keeps all the sea monsters? Do want? Luring astronauts into black holes with a song that carries across the void where no one can hear you scream. This post turned real fast. Space sirens. I'd be down for this. Do you ever eat some disappointing junk food and it's like, I'm clogging my arteries for this? Things on this site are so oddly specific, yet so accurate. It's simply because we're all the same. Why is it so small? It's a baby. Thank you, science side of Tumblr. Yeah, we do need them every now and then. My favorite haunted house experience was when a werewolf, after growling in our faces and effectively freaking out my siblings, stepped on my shoe and he said in the softest voice imaginable, "Oh, sorry." In close second is the time where strings hanging from the ceiling and my glasses got cut. Wait, what? Can people type right? Where strings hanging from the ceiling and my glasses got caught, and this guy, who was dressed up as a creepy Victorian zombie or whatever, stood there as I tried to untangle them while they were still on my face. But it kept getting worse until he walked up to me, very carefully removed my glasses, untangled them, and handed them back to me, and then grunted like a zombie as I thanked him and moved on. Oh, this was the same night, by the way. If he writes her a few sonnets, he loves her. If he writes her 300 sonnets, he loves sonnets. My English professor. I'm saying that word correctly, right? I think about this quote all the time, and I feel like it explains a lot about human behavior. The Bank of Canada urges Star Trek fans to stop spocking their fivers. No, reblog if you would spock a fiver. That sure is a phrase. I like it. I like it a lot. In primary school, we had a creative writing assignment where we had to write about a character in a new strange situation. And I wrote about a squid that was somehow teleported from the ocean to the forest floor, and slowly choked to death for 2 pages, and I'll never quite forget my teacher's face because it turns out she wanted, "This new school is scary, I hope I make friends," and not a graphic description of a squid dying. Well, that's just the risk you take if you decide to teach creative writing. Yeah, you don't get to expect things in creative writing. I was hoping you would do this. I don't give a shit what you were hoping. That's not what we were told. My friend was testing perfumes out at the store, and she sniffed a bottle and announced, "Not gonna lie, this kinda sucks." The girl at the counter suddenly looked really sad, and my friend was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about you." And the girl looked up and said, "No, don't worry. I didn't think that, but I just crushed a ladybug with my shoe." We both took a peek over the counter. She stepped on a red M&M. Every word of this is a curveball. Dude, you're telling me. I sterilized my cat so she wouldn't have any babies, and she brought one home from the street. I am mommed her. The look in her eyes. You cannot prevent me from raising a family. That cat is determined. You gotta give her that much, right? You're the bad guy in someone's story. Pal, I'm the bad guy in my story, okay? Oh god, what is this? I'll never forget the dream I had about this show on Nickelodeon that was kind of like Malcolm in the Middle and Even Stevens. It was called Boy Naughty, and like every time they went to a commercial, it would fade out with kids singing Boy Naughty. I wish you could hear this tune because it's been stuck in my head for months. Uh-oh, here comes Boy Naughty. Weekends at 6 p.m. on Fox Kids. I would love to see this show and hear what you were actually thinking with the jingle. So, we went to an improv show, and we played this game where somebody's given a trait and another player has to guess what it is based on how they answer questions. And one of the players, who was a taxidermist, was asked, "What do you do for a living?" And she replied, "Oh, you know, stuff." And to this day, that is the greatest pun I have ever heard. My God. Someone was waiting their entire lives for that moment, and it was probably completely worth it. I'm not sure I even believe in the sunk cost fallacy anymore, but I've put in too much work to quit now. Not sure about the gambler's fallacy, but I've been wrong so many times before, my luck is bound to change. This one source I found out of dozens did say that cherry picking was valid. Well, I don't hear anyone who made it here complaining about survivorship bias. Oh God. How long did this go on for? They definitely didn't stop here. The only high school heterosexual romance I want to see is Jock Girl and Nerd Boy. Sorry, the other ones have been too overdone. Give me a super confident basketball player girl and a guy who's a little terrified of her. Nerd Boy is scrambling for books at his locker. Basketball girl leans on the locker next to his like jocks do in high school movies. Let me guess, no other guy wants to hang out with her because she's too tall and intimidating. Actually, no. All the basketball dudes think she's super cool, but she wants a calculus loser. I'm sorry, but the Norwegian butter crisis of 2011 just confuses my goddamn brain, because how the actual hell does an entire country run out of butter? Did Norway just come downstairs and like, opens fridge? I can't read that. I was gonna explain how the butter crisis happened, but then I noticed your freaking hilarious attempt at writing, "We've run out of butter." I'm not sure if you know, but you basically wrote, "We drove out of the lubrication." Well, that makes everything better though. People who don't cook their cereal don't realize what they're missing out on. The heat of the flame really brings out the sweetness of the marshmallows. OP, I'm coming to your home to beat you in the face and ass. Hey, they might be onto something here. Try before you deny. Anyway, on to better things. Well, there he f***ing goes, I guess. Bye-bye. No thoughts. Only fully articulated iron crab. Japanese, 18th century. Fully articulated iron crab. Japanese, 18th century. Private collection. I want to hold this guy so badly. Me too, actually. Olympics should have a for fun section at the end of all the games so all the athletes can try different sports. Bolt v Phelps. Ping pong. Really want to see this. With the expert athletes on the sidelines yelling tips. It's like a much better version of Shaq versus. You guys are all so funny tonight. Lets the strap of my dress fall down my shoulder. Yeah, we not that funny. Fixes it with those claws for picking up trash. Oh, I see. I'm sorry, but the idea of Star Trek cosplayers walking around a Renaissance fair like time travelers will always be hilarious and amazing to me. I knew a Rennie who kept a Starfleet badge pinned onto the inside of his jerkin. When he encountered Trekkies at a fair, he'd pull them aside. "My lord, a word in private if you would humor me." And then he'd flash the badge at them and say something along the lines of, "What the hell do you think you're doing? This is an undeveloped, uncontacted tribal planet. Do the words Prime Directive mean anything to you? You've just ruined literal years of research. Who's your captain?" I'll be referring this to Starfleet for corrective action. It always got a laugh. I'm sure it did. Chronic neuron misfire at work where a customer asked what my specialty was. Like, what my favorite drink is, I guess. And I said, "Wasp Cup." And then we stared at each other for a second, and I decided to double down for some reason and said, "You bring the wasp, I bring the cup." And she was just like, "Okay, can I have an iced white mocha?" Without any emotion. It was like two neural nets interacting. I mean, I will never try a wasp cup, ever. Self-fulfillment needs, psychological needs, and basic needs. Be held and rice. Are you a wet cell phone? It's f***ing Wimdy. Ever since I first saw this post, "It's f***ing Wimdy" is easily one of the top 10 most commonly used phrases in my household. Then my job is done. This man can't be fixed. I can screw him though. Maybe that will calm him down. I don't know. You know what? Give it a try. For the sake of the galaxy, give it a try. Why not? From a principal's publication in 1815. Students today depend on paper too much. They don't know how to write on a slate without getting chalk dust all over themselves. They can't clean a slate properly. What will they do when they run out of paper? Proof that someone has bitched and will bitch about young people's technology throughout all of time and space. Oh yeah, previous generations are always going to complain about how much easier the future generations are going to have it. Which, by the way, is the goddamn point. We're progressing so that future generations don't have to deal with all of the shit that the the past generations did. You don't need to be a little bitch about it. We're doing that on purpose. Okay, at least some of us are doing that on purpose. Others love the idea of people suffering as much as they did for some fucking reason. She's a 10, but she rots in her room all day listening to music and making up scenarios in her head. I think that's what most of us do, right?